It's time to lace up the skates because Penn State men's hockey returns this week. After bowing out to a Big Ten rival in Michigan in last year's NCAA Tournament, what should we expect from Guy Gadowski's team? Welcome back to Penn State Sports Night. I'm Will Duerksen, joined by Kendall Skalicky and Jackson Tortone. The Nittany Lions reached the second round of the NCAA Tournament last year, falling short of the Frozen Four. Kendall, what is the floor and the ceiling for this year's team?
As you said, that loss to Michigan in the second round was so heartbreaking for this team. It was a really tough way to end the season, so I think they're going to come back really hungry after that. I also think that 16th preseason ranking stung a little bit for them. I think they expected to be higher than that, so I think that also is going to make them super eager to play. I think that the ceiling would be them making the Frozen Four, obviously taking the championship. To me, I'm going to say that the floor is anything but that. I have really high expectations for this team, and I think it's time that this program proves that they can be a consistent top 5 program.
For sure. So yeah, in my opinion, I think that the ceiling and the floor, I think it's almost like the Empire State Building because the ceiling is so high and the floor is so low with this team. I mean, I think that Penn State could definitely contend for a national championship for sure. But at the same time, Penn State could also finish like in a terrible position amongst D1 teams, depending on performance. And I think it all depends on how the power play goes this year, because last year it was at a horrendous 160, which is horrible by anyone's standards. But an improvement of that would put Penn State in a way better position. It could definitely make them contend for a national championship for sure.
It's a good thing you brought up the power play because that leads right into the next topic. Penn State's top 2 scorers from last season, Kevin Wall and Tur Linden, are not back this year. So Jackson, which player or players do you see stepping up and scoring more goals in their absence?
So I think Xander Lampa and Christian Starlow are going to step up this season because they were the lower level guys last season, but they still started. I think that ice time they got last season will carry over and that they will be able to deliver and be able to carry this offense a little more just because of that ice time they got last season.
Everyone the team lost offensively is going to be a huge hit. There was a lot of big players that are not coming back. However, the defense is going to stand strong. Liam Swalier was a star last season in this goaltending, and I think he will hold the team together once again. The team also has 6 of 7 defensemen coming back, so there's really no damage there. A player I do have my eye on, though, is Tanner Pelosa. He is a grad student from Dartmouth. He led his team in points last year, so he will also be bringing something offensively. I think he is going to be stepping in Paul DeNaples' role because he is the oldest defenseman on the team now. But offensively, I really don't think there's going to be many star players. I think the score sheet is going to have a lot of names on it. I don't think that anyone is really going to stand out that much, and I think this team really needs to play as one this year. Looking back, I think their weakness was we would see 5 guys playing out there, and they were not playing as one, so I think that's going to be a huge factor in the season.
Yeah, offense by committee, if you will. Now, the Big Ten last year sent several teams to the NCAA Tournament and will be a tough conference once again. So, Kendall, what are some games on Penn State's schedule that will make or break the Nittany Lions season?
Obviously, any Big Ten game is super important and a challenge, as always. But I think the games they really need to focus on are actually the out-of-conference, because last year they were 10-0 in non-conference games, and I think that if they can do that again this year, they will be a shoo-in for the tournament.
For sure. So, at the end of the day, out-of-conference games are important, but I do think that the in-conference games, especially against teams like Michigan and Minnesota, are what's going to make the difference in the season. Because last season, Penn State went 1-3 against both Minnesota and Michigan, and that led to a morale decline a little bit. It also led to some other terrible conference losses, such as Michigan State and Wisconsin, who were not even ranked teams. And so you need to be able to beat these top-ranked teams in order to get yourself in a position where you can make a deep run into the Big Ten tournament and into the NCAA tournament. So I would say for sure Big Ten games are going to be the most important ones.
Yeah, but one thing about Michigan and Minnesota, both times Penn State beat them last year, the Gophers and the Wolverines were ranked number 1. So anything can happen with this Penn State team. Also, with Michigan, Adam Fantilli's not there anymore.
Down to
Just
man,
something
for sure,
to think about. But with a long season ahead, Penn State aims to go on another deep playoff run and make more history in Hockey Valley. Thank you for watching Penn State Sports Night. For Kendall, Skalicky, and Jackson Tortone, I'm Will Duerksen. Good night.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For more content like this, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a like, and follow our socials down below.
And as always, we are
Penn State Sports Night.